And here we are, Terry, back to another Monday morning. It's kind of a solemn Monday for Terry. He was away, as you know. We mentioned he got out of town for a little bit of fun, a little bit of R&R, a little bit of racing in there too. And Terry, unfortunately, comes back with the horse racers, horse players, broken down horse players. Story we all got, the big one that got away. Tell us a little bit about it, Terry.
I played the pick 5 at Kingland. And I got all the way through it. I had one horse that paid.
Was this on Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday. Yeah. I had one horse that paid $50 in that sequence. And I came to the last leg. I had 3 horses on my ticket in the last leg. I had the favorite, and I had 2 pretty long shots. So I think the favorite was the number 10, I believe. The long shots I had were the 1 and the 8, and the So the race goes off, and a couple.
Well, before you go there, tell us a little bit about the potential payouts.
All right, if the 1 wins, it's let's see, 80,000. If the 8 wins, it's 100,000, and if the favorite wins, I believe it was going to be like 16,000. Anyway, so they take off, and the race is running good. I'm watching the 1 and the 8 because that's the ones I really want to come in.
80 or 100, of course.
That's right. Yeah.
Who wants 16 when you can get 80 or 100?
Yeah. They come in this stretch, and the 8 starts to move. And about a third of the way down the stretch, he catches up to the leader, and then he's running third, and the 2 horses come from behind, and the favorite, which was one of mine, and the second choice, the number 6, passed them all.
Mm.
And of course, I had a lot of excitement until that happened. But
then up until the moment that when the horse goes by your horse and you know you're done. We've all had those moments. Unfortunately, I had one where I accidentally left a number off a ticket, or the clerk did back in the old days when you had to go to the off track, and it was at Gulfstream Park. I hit a 99-1 shot, Terry, to start a pick 4. And that was the only one that wasn't on the ticket. I got back to my desk. I looked to see the results. I saw the 11-1 paid like $198 or something. I looked not at my ticket, but what I had written down. And I saw the 11, but I knew when I was at the track, at the off-track betting parlor, something was wrong because the total was like $9 short of what I thought it was going to be. The guy couldn't have missed any other horse in the first leg. And it paid $60,000 for 50 cents. I almost, Terry, I opened up the window and looked out and said, you know what, 5 floors is kind of high. Put the window back down.
Yeah, and you always look back. I thought, why didn't I have the second choice in there? It looked good. It paid $22,000 or something like that. So, you know, you always look back, and for some reason, you just didn't get that horse like you're talking about, or didn't check your ticket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Unfortunately, I think most horse players have got one of those experiences and never won the other way, where I accidentally put in the 11 and ended up with $60,000 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, that's never happened.
Yeah, I've had it where I accidentally put a horse in there and then it said, oh, no, change it. And then that horse wins. So I shouldn't have. It's
funny how life works like that. Like I changed my sports bets at the last second, and the one I wanted to have, it wins anyway. I don't know why life works. It's just unfair how life works sometimes.
It is.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's talk a little bit about a life that seemed like it was a good life lived, and one that unfortunately ended. Is Bob Neumeier. He was the face. Well, he was a big part of the Triple Crown and English horse racing on NBC, a big NBC sportscaster. I wasn't quite sure he was when I looked at the name, and then when I saw the face, I said, oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah, same with me. So, you know, he worked at NBC Sports Boston, and he did TV anchoring. He was one of those guys who could do anything in our business, I mean. Mm-hmm. And he worked like I said, at NBC Sports Boston. So he was a very creative TV reporter, and he was doing a lot of TV reporting. So
yeah, and a lot of horse racing stuff with the Triple Crown on NBC. So for those who work with him and those who are his family, God bless. May he rest in peace. Right, Terry?
That's right. Yes.
But you know, Terry, you might have been able to do digital dough though instead of betting on horses. This is even worse.
Yes,
We
it
talked
is.
about these Ned Run things when they first started. Our Frisco Bash wrote about them. These young kids, they're familiar with the Bitcoins and NFTs and all that kind of stuff. And you
Yeah.
old folks like I are like, you and I are like, what digital? What are you talking? Money on the computer? Are you kids crazy? Give me the $20 bill, the real money. But anyway, we don't even get the full story on this, but it looks like one of these digital horses from the Zed Run, an Australian firm, sold a digital horse for $562,000, Terry.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Whatever Aussie dollars, but unbelievable.
Yeah, I was shocked at that. I just said, what the heck's going on? So,
man, forget Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, all these different these digital coins.
Yeah.
Get yourself a digital horse.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I wished I had that kind of money to do it, but I don't.
Well, Terry, the thing is, I looked online to see if maybe maybe the group here at the Horse Racing Today show and all of the other shows that we do, maybe collectively throw some money together and buy one.
Oh,
heck,
wow.
I was looking online. I thought, they're going to be like $150. They're going to be, cheap. So maybe everyone tosses in $5, or maybe you and I split it. We get one. They're like $3,000-$4,000. I was like, oh my Lord.
Yes, too much, just too much.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you don't know what you're doing with these things, right? It's just to complete speculation on our part if we jumped into one of these things.
I agree. Yeah.
Finally, the Breeders' Cup is coming up, Terry. So let's talk. We'll break it down. We'll go like one race at a time.
Okay.
We'll talk about the live odds, or what odds are out there. We know these odds are from TVG. They're a little bit off because we know that Maxfield is not running in the Breeders' Cup Classic, but let's talk about some of the horses that are in there potentially. Essential Quality and Nick's Go right now look like they're going to be the two favorites with Medina Spirit, Hot Rod Charlie. Do you feel like an art collector? Do you feel like any of these horses are going to beat Nick's Go? Do you feel like there's a little too much early speed for Nick's Go? What do you think?
No, I think Essential Quality is going to beat Nick's Go. I know Nick's Go is very good horse, and
so you think the 3-year-old can take the older ones? That'll be interesting if that happens.
I do. I think it's going to happen. Nick's Go, has done just about everything they've asked for it this year, but I think Essential Quality will be there.
You think so? I'm kind of looking at that last race for Art Collector and thinking to myself, at 12-1 odds, if you can repeat that last race that we watched live, and when he got to the front and never gave it up, I know, that's going to be one of those things where he's going to be chasing Nick's Go. And if he chases Nick's Go, he could maybe not stay up in the front, which would open up the race to some closers. Because right now you got Nick's Go, Medina Spirit, Hot Rod Charlie, and Art Collector, all of which in this group like to be close to the front, which makes you wonder why the Maxfield team may wish that they might have stayed in, because they might have been the strongest closer in a race that's lightning fast.
Yeah, that's true. And I, of course, I'll play Art Collector in my Exacta and Trifecta. So,
all right. But I know what you are going to play today, Terry. We won't have to wait till November the 4th and 5th for Terry's play. Today, Terry's got a best bet of the day, and that you'll see over there at Horse Racing Radar. It's at Mahoning Valley in race number 4. Terry, tell us what you like in race 4 and why you like it. Let me blow it up a little bit so people can see it, and then it's out of the way here. Go ahead.
Well, I like the number 2, Mobile Lady. She has the highest lady
speed figure.
Yeah, highest race
we'll get it. Figure. That's Monday.
And she's finished in the money in 8 races in a row, winning 2 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like number 6, Fashion Frame. Likes the distance, finishing in the money 78% of the time in her career, winning 50% of those races, and has won 67% of her races at Finger Lakes. So she likes that track.
So is this at Mahoning Valley or Finger Lakes? Because you have Mahoning Valley listed.
I'm sorry. It's Mahoning Valley is where she.
Okay, so because you had mentioned that this horse had done well at Finger Lakes, so I guess it's moving over to Mahoning Valley today.
Yes, that's right. So it was a late night last night when I came in, when I put this together. So excuse my little mistake there. So
I just wanted to make sure we were clear so everybody understood. So some weren't over at Finger Lakes and some weren't over at Mahoning Valley. It's all at Mahoning Valley.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes, I hope it is. Number
If
4.
not, it's at Finger Lakes. I mean, it's A or B. I mean, because it could be either one. Because Terry, your fly 4 is at Finger Lakes. So
Yeah, I know. That's
let's
probably,
just check some of the names here real quick and see if there's an overlap. All right,
Yeah, let
and not
me
your
do
fly
that.
4, but your 3P parlay. So you got 16 tons, and 16 tons is not in this race. So I'm guessing it is at Mahoning Valley, Terry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
All right, so it is Mahoning Valley. Race number 4, Terry likes the 2-horse, Mobile Lady, the 6, Fashion Frame, and number 4, Matt's Honey, where Matt Hook is the announcer who's been a guest on the Player's Edge podcast a couple of times.
Yeah. So this
Indeed.
Matt's Honey is finished second in her last race at today's distance and is having a good year, finishing in the money 9 out of 13 races, and she's won 2 of those races. So,
and you picked Mahoning Valley because that's where we're going to do our fly 4 today, Terry.
it is.
And we have races 5, 6, 7, and 8 at Mahoning Valley. It's probably raining there, I would imagine, because it's west of Chicago, east of Chicago, and west. Weather goes from west to east, and it's been rain. I know we've got some kind of like, I don't know what they call it, but it's like a river of rain or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's been like a river of rain. It's just been raining and raining and raining and raining for 2 days. So I got to imagine Mahoning Valley's a little bit sloppy. So I did a little bit of my handicapping, and I tried to incorporate the off track to see if horses that perform well there. But we'll find out how that works out. The first race is race number 5. 6 furlongs, optional claiming 25,000, non-winners of 3 races other than their maiden claiming, starter, or Ohio bred, which have never won 4 races, are entered to be claimed for 20. A lot of rules for this one, Terry.
Yeah.
But 6 furlongs, and at the previous meet, they had about 400 races, 398 at 6 furlongs. All 4 of the races today will be at that distance, and more than 100 of them went wire to wire. So there's a pretty good, strong speed bias at Mahoning Valley. And typically in the slop, speed biases, from my experience, tend to be enhanced a little bit because I think some horses just don't like the mud in their face.
It could be, but as far as the race weather's going, I watched the first race. It appeared to me that it was raining, or it might be off from past rain.
But today it's
anyway.
looking all right. All right, so who's your first pick?
All right, my first pick today is number 5, Woodland Walk. He's finished in the money 85% of the time, winning 52% of those races. He breaks on top, and he ran second in his last race. He performs well on an off track, winning the last one he competed in, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
Yes, indeed. And the horse has got a bunch of 1s across its past performance lines. And as I mentioned, early speed is one of the key hallmarks for winning at Mahoning Valley. 6 furlongs on the dirt course. Also, looking at its late pace figures, it has the second best late pace figures in the field. So not only will the 5-horse Woodland Walk get to the front, but it has the legs to stay there and make all the others chase. So I do like that horse as well, Terry.
Okay.
The 5 was actually one of my first picks too, but my other pick in here is the 6-horse, and that's Flatter Me Please, Terry.
Yes.
It's a horse that's making its 3rd start off a layoff. Last time out, did show some improvement in terms of its early pace at the 6 furlong marker. Last time out, it was 3rd by 4.5 lengths. This past race was 2nd by 2, so you see that stepping up the ladder. This is the 3rd start off a layoff, and the horse is cutting back in distance, Terry, which I'm hoping means the horse can maintain its speed throughout the entirety of the race.
Yeah, it's my second pick as well. And it's, like you said, it's returning to a sprint. Has a 4 furlong workout on October 18th at Mountaineer, 46.3 breezing. And then that was the best out of 4 workouts that day, and likes an off track.
Yeah, 46 for, a workout is pretty good, Terry. If you look back at 2 races ago, that was faster than it ran its opening half mile. So that was in the race. So I expect to see the horse show some pace too. Anybody else that you like in here, Terry?
Number 2, Kadrai. He improved his last speed rating in the last 3 races in a row. So he's finished 3rd in his last race, and he had a couple of good works.
Yeah, I like the 2-horse as well, Terry, but I also like the 8-horse. So we'll come back and look at this because I feel like later on we're going to have a little bit, going to have to go a little bit deeper. Timeless Bounty, it has some of the best late pace figures in the field. In fact, might be the strongest on the way home, but it has been showing some speed as of late. So if the horse can get out to the lead and hang on, you got a good odds at 20-1 morning line. It's raced at Mahoning Valley 3 times, has a win and a pair of seconds. So it's been close in both of those races, Terry.
Yeah.
Seems to like the shorter distance as well. 5 times at 6 furlongs, 2 wins, a second and a third. So I feel like the 8-horse offers us some value at 20-1. And it's been on an off track, and you said it's nice there, but I know it's rained there the last couple of days because I was checking it out yesterday as well. And he's got 2 seconds and 2 wins and 4 on an off track. So I'm kind of hoping it rains by the time we get started, and the 8-horse does well for us.
Yeah, I'm watching the second race now, and it's raining and it's muddy. So yeah, it's an off track, and that's my 4th pick, Timeless Bounty. I really like the horse.
So should we throw him in there at 20-1?
Yeah, I'd like to because he's won 3 out of his last 8 races this year. So.
All right, so we'll put him out here. We'll leave the 2 off to the side. If we have any remaining space towards the end, we'll go ahead and throw him in. Any other horse in just the case? Because with the weather, you don't know who's going to scratch.
Yeah, no, I have no other horse in there.
The only other mutter I looked at in here was the 7-horse, Terry, and that's a horse by the name of Double Deep. Has run on the off track 7 times and won 4 of them. So seems to prefer the mud and does have that early pace that's important to win at 6 furlongs on the Mahoning Valley course. Let's go ahead and fast forward to race number 6. Again, you have 6 furlongs, Terry. Speed is the way. It doesn't change from last time. More than a third of 400 horses won wire to wire in the last meet. How are you going to start this one? Because to me, this race is just crazy open.
It is. Number 10, Unwritten. She likes Thistledowns. Oh, I'm sorry. She likes
Mahoning
this
Valley
track. Yeah, winning 2 out of 3 races. And then she ran second in the other race that she didn't win. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and she has the best dirt speed and fastest among today's starters. It's a tie. So
okay, yeah, I have the 10-horse highly ranked as well. I had a 3rd on actually 4th on my list, but it is a horse that second after acclaimed trainer Jeffrey Radizetovic. I hope I got that right. He wins at 38% of the time. So he's won 5 of 16 times under those circumstances. When he's teamed up with Luis Rivera, the team wins at 31%. So you got a really strong jockey combination. You got a really good trainer angle going in there as well. And a horse, unfortunately, hasn't won on the mud yet, but maybe she will today because she does have some of the best speed numbers on the mud. I like the number 9 horse, Whoville, Terry. Horse he's got some early pace for sure. It's likely to be one of the early leaders, and at the same time has the best late pace figures. So for me, the 9-horse has the best combination of giddy up and go, and then let's get it going late. And last time out, ran on a wet fast track and pretty much was towards the front all the way around the track.
Is there some way you can see it in my computer? Because we're sure thinking a lot alike today.
I think you're looking at my computer, Terry.
Number 9, Whoville, is my second choice, and it ran second versus similar in the last race. Has a good workout, 4 furlongs, 49 breezing, 5th best out of 20.
Mm-hmm. And then who else do you like in this spot, Terry?
Number 1, Super Steamy. She likes to close and has finished in the money 50% of the time this year, winning 20% of those races. She has one of the highest last speed rating. So that's
I like the 1-horse too. The thing had it ranked very high as well, Super Steamy. Mm-hmm. The only thing is the horse has run a couple of times on off track and just did not fire. So I'm curious to see how it performs. It looks to me like she's going to be a little bit more of a closer. She does have some of the best late pace figures in the field, but I'm a bit concerned that she might be too far back, might not like the mud in her face. If this was on a fast track, would probably be my top choice for me, but we'll put her in there because it's a strong horse. Finally, the next horse, and this horse has the best early pace figures by a pretty good margin. That's the 5-horse, La Muneca. La Muneca. I don't know what that means, but yes, but I can ask. But this horse should get out of the gates as fast as any. In fact, it does, like I said, had some of the best early pace figures in there. Horse won last time by 4 1/4 lengths for Richard Zielinski, the trainer. And when he keeps the horses in the claiming ranks, he wins at about 30% of the time. And that's over 80 races. So it's not like he did it in, 3 times out of 10. It's 30% out of 79. So that's a pretty good figure there. So I expect to see La Monica do very well again today. And if she can get to the lead, Terry might not give it up.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. She actually has one of the highest last speed ratings. She's tied with one of the other horses. But yeah, I like that horse. So.
All right. And because, like we said, there's so much goofiness at the track today. Anybody else in here that you might think about adding if there's some scratches?
Yeah, number 3, here in Val. She likes the distance and performs well on and off track. Won last race at Belterra.
Last race was at Belterra Park.
Yeah, Belterra Park. Yeah, and her early speed running style will help her chances.
For sure. To me, there's another mutter in here too, and that's the 8-horse Terry. A little bit of a better price. Charge It All. Ran 1 time, 2 times, has a win on the mud, but also has the top mud figure, if you will. All right, so let's go off to race number 7 again. 6 furlongs, Terry, so not much to think about. As we mentioned, speed. This is an allowance 31, non-winner of 1. A purse is $31,300. I don't know why they put the $300 in there, but perhaps there's is there a standout in this race, Terry, or no?
Oh, I don't know. This whole day is kind of there. But if there is a standout, it's number 1, Weekend Buzz. Finished 80% of the time in the money this year. Won 20% of those races. He has the highest last speed rating and drops in class today. And the best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
My only concern with the 1 horse is that it doesn't look on paper like it has some of the best early pace. But when I ran through the early pace numbers, it has the 2nd fastest early pace. I like that. I also like that T.D. Houghton, our guest who's been on the show a number of times, he's on the mount there today. So we're hoping T.D. wins. We hope he wins in those horse racing radar pants. Another horse that has some good early pace, but also some good late pace figures, Terry, is our nemesis. But we don't let it be our nemesis much anymore. And that's Nambiti, the 9-horse.
Yeah.
So this is a horse that does have the 2nd best pace figure, early pace figure, but at the same, 3rd best, I'm sorry, but at the same time has the best late pace figures, amongst the best late pace figures. So it's another horse that can get out to the front and then has the stamina and the legs to stay there.
Yeah, not only can he get out in the front, but he can also come from off the pace. And I like the fact that he has won a race on the off track.
And a little bit of versatility in that horse as well. Been working out pretty well, too, since October 2nd. Really nice workout at Belterra Park. So, yep. All right, Terry, anybody else you like here?
Number 11, Precious Jewel. He's finished in the money 50% of the time this year and should have no problem with this distance. He has a good trainer-jockey combination.
Yeah, I like the 11-horse, too. It's like you are in my computer, Terry, for sure. It's not the other way. Precious Jewel is definitely a horse that last time out, it's definitely a horse that will be showing some late pace. It has the best late pace figures in the field, and it's a pretty good margin between it and the 1. And Guillermo Rodriguez and trainer Valerie Schanefeld, those 2 have won 4 out of 7 so far together. The horse has struggled a little bit at Mahoning Valley, 0 for 5, so that concerns me a little bit. And struggled on the off track a little bit too. So those 2 things are a concern for me, but I feel like the late pace should get this horse into a piece. And as Terry mentioned, Terry and I have mentioned before many times, it's not all about just doing the pick 4. There can be exactas in here, trifectas. We've had a couple superfectas. So take a look at it for doubles, exactas, horses that you might be thinking about adding, maybe some prices in here that you want to think about, so forth. So finally, my last horse in here, Terry, is the 3-horse. Did you have any thoughts about the 3-horse?
Let me see.
Peck's not bad?
No, I hadn't got that one in there. So
no. All right. So any other horse that you like, we'll put the 3 to the side.
Yeah, I like Cat Heat, number 10. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is close to the average winning speed.
All right. So that we'll come back and argue over these horses in a minute. The last race, I think, is wide open. We might not even argue over it. We might need to put so many horses in this last race that we won't have anything left to argue about. Again, 6 furlongs. This one, though, is the of the maiden Special weight variety, $29,600 is the purse. And this is interesting to me, Terry, because you got a lot of youngsters in here
Sure do.
that haven't really got a lot of good racing experience. So I tend to like the horses that might be a little bit lighter race than others. But in any case, why don't you just start us off and then we'll rattle through what we like.
Okay, how about number 8, Surefire Ready? Finished second versus similar in the last race. And a good workout on September 13th, 37 breezing from the gate. Second best workout out of 8.
Definitely working well. Again, a lighter raced horse. Did show some, pretty much ran the same race in the second race that it did in the first race, Terry. So I'm hoping you'll see some improvement in the third race in its career. Hopefully that'll be the case. It hasn't had a chance. A lot of these horses haven't had a chance to run on an off track. So we have no idea what to expect from these horses, right?
Correct.
So number 12 for me is my top choice, Terry.
Yeah.
You like the 12 as well. I hear you confirming that.
Yeah.
That is Goose is on the Loose. I guess this is a little bit of a play from the movie Top Gun. But in any case, this is a horse that has had a couple trips on the off track, did run a decent number, should be amongst the early leaders. And that's, again, what we like here. So the early speed should help the horse out. Last time out, fractions were a little bit better than the previous race. So I always like to see that. And you're seeing a little bit of an improvement in form in terms of speed and pace. One thing that concerns me is the horse has been the favorite 2 races in a row and hasn't gotten there. So maybe just likes to hang. So maybe do all over the 12 and you have yourself a nice exacta.
Could be because she's ran second 4 races in a row. And but she has the highest speed figure at today's distance and the added blinkers today, which could help.
Who else do you like?
Number 9, I'm Legit. She has finished in the money.
And we can't let that 9 beat us. She's got we got to throw it in race number 1.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she's finished in the money in all her career races, running second versus similar in her last race, receiving the highest last speed rating. Her best speed, dirt speed, is the fastest among today's starters.
All right. So I do like the 9 horse as well, Terry. And this is where we're going to run into a little bit of trouble because I feel like there's a few others in here that we can do well. So looking at the early pace here, Terry, another horse that has some giddy up and go out of the barn, and that's got some, and that's this 11 horse. See, this is where it gets crazy to me. So I like the 11 or the 2. The 11 has the early pace, the legs, and the 2 doesn't. So I like the 11 as a long shot. Any other horses that you like in here?
Yeah, there's a first-time starter that kind of stood out to me, which is number 5, LC0. The breeding suits today's sprint distance, and she has a couple of sharp workouts. One on October 18th, 48-2, breezing from the gate, second out of 9 workouts, and then another one on October 7th. She had 47.4. breeding from the gate. And I like the breeding from the gate. I like when I see that, especially with the younger horses, because it shows me that they probably are doing well from breaking from the gate. And she was the second best workout that day out of 22.
All right. So I didn't have the 5 in there, but we'll throw the 5 in there, Terry, the first time starter, because you just don't know what you're going to get.
You don't.
All right. So that means we can put one horse one more place, Terry. So it's either race 5 or race 7. Which race do you feel like? I feel like race 7, the 1 has a chance to be an easy winner. If not, I like the 9. But so to me, I feel like race number 5 is where we might consider putting another horse.
I think that's a good place, because race 5 to me was pretty wide open. So
do you want to? Who do you like better, the 2 or the 7?
I actually like the 2 better, but.
Well, the 2 does have some early pace. The only reason I mentioned the 7 is because he looked to me like he was the best of the mudders.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, the 7 had run on the mud, I think 7 times and won 4 of them. So I did like to see that. And now that you've mentioned that it is raining, so that's double deep. Yes, 7 times on the mud, 4 winners. And then if you look at the 2 horse, the 2 horse is Kadri's, ran on the mud 2 times, has a second.
Yeah,
so I think it's pretty wide open between the 2. It does look to me like Kadri's been running at a little better level. than the 7 horse. So maybe we go with the quality and cross our fingers that the 7 doesn't make it 5 of 8.
Yeah, I don't know. Those two are almost the same to me. So,
Well,
let's
the
go.
trainer here, Norman Cash, does follow a win with another win at 32%. And those speed figures on the 2 are considerably higher than the speed figures on the 7. Although, it's just a close one to me, Terry, because when you look, you go back behind that last race. I don't know. See the regression. What happened the last time the 7 horse regressed? He came back to run well the next time out. So that's a real close one. He was a favorite last time. That trainer, Nabu Morales, wins at 30% with beaten favorites. It's a toss. I say we go with the longer odds, Terry.
Okay, sounds good.
And you know what's going to happen, right?
The 2's going to win.
The 2's going to win. So you could put the L on the 2, not for loser, for lock.
Okay. Is there any race that we might have one that's just kind of the border that we want to take out, but to 2 in?
I don't know. I mean, maybe the 11 in race number 7. I'm not sure because the 1 and the 9 look like the best horses. I feel like all these races are pretty wide open, Terry.
Yeah, let's just leave it the way it is.
We'll just leave it the way it is. All right, let's hope that the 2 horse doesn't beat us, Terry. But I think I absolutely guaranteed that the 2 horse is going to be the first to the wire. Let's hope he gets DQ'd.
Yeah.
So in race number 5, we have the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 8. Race number 6, we have the 1, the 5, the 9, the 10. Race number 7, the 1, the 9, and the 11. Race number 8, the 5, the 8, the 9, and the 12. And we have a whole bunch of alternatives to the right-hand side, just in case there are other scratches or you have much deeper pockets than Terry and I do. This ticket, I believe, is a $96 ticket, Terry.
Yes.
So now we'll talk a little bit about where we spend a little bit less money, Terry, and that is on our hot dog pick 4. So you can get a little bit of a see into how Terry was thinking and how I was thinking and how the 2 of us came to work together. And there are our fly 4s. Terry, you like the 5 and the 6, and what else do you like?
I like in the 6th race, the 1, 9, 10. The 7th race, I like the 1, 10, 11. And the 8th race, I like the 8 and the 12.
So for me, I went a little bit differently. I went with the 5 and the 6. I agree with Terry on that opening leg there. Terry's hot dog 4 was for $18. I went a little deeper in race 6. I feel like it's a little bit more of an open race. I went the 1, the 5, the 9, and the 10. In race number 7, I just soloed up the 1 because I feel like the 1 of any of the horses that we went through is the only one maybe in those 4 races to single. And I wanted some depth in the back end. So I went with the 2, the 8, the 9, the 11, and the 12 for $20. I went all out today, Terry. Spent every dollar. So I hope that we can both get the fly 4 and the hot dog 4 so we can have it 3 times today to start off this new week.
Well, that's true because last Thursday we got the pick 4 and I got the hot dog pick 4. And I believe I even got the place parlay.
So, yes, you did very well. Your back must be hurting from carrying us.
It is. It hurts like crazy.
It hurts like hell. And it ain't from carrying us. It's just from getting old, right?
It's
mine too.
old.
I wake up in the morning. I need a new mattress, folks. I need to hit a pick 4 so I can go buy one today.
Well, mine's from getting old and getting too heavy. So I'm started a diet today. We'll see what happens.
Yes, I'm on a diet too. I see food, I eat it. All right, so let's take a look at our final thing of the day, our 3P parlay, chasing down Sasquatch. Terry's over at Finger Lakes. Race 4 is probably coming pretty soon, so you might want to get over there. Tell us what you got, Terry.
Okay, and right at Finger Lakes race 4, I've got number 3, 16 tons. Finger Lakes race 7, I've got Kenny Hustle. And Finger Lakes number 9, I have Pioneer in the Sky, which is one of my picks today that I really like.
So I went to Zia Park because I wanted to go to the only place where there's horse racing today and it's not raining. And that's in Arizona. Oh, no, New Mexico. So Zia Park, I like the 7 horse, Indeed a Favorite, in race number 4, in race number 8. And that's a quarter horse race, so that should be fun. I always like those. They bounce around and you just never know. You can get the longest shot and the shortest shot. It all depends on who comes out straight and fast.
Yeah, I've been to Zia Park one time, and I'll tell you, we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, everybody started putting stuff around their face, like a mask, like we do now. And my wife and I looked at each other, and then we looked over to the left, and all this dust was coming. So we had to pull our shirts up because we didn't have handkerchiefs or anything like that. And the dust came through there just like a whirlwind. And it only lasted about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it was gone. It was really weird.
So, well, it's the benefit of being a local, I guess. And nowadays that's not an issue because everybody's got a mask hanging around their face.
That's right.
Well, hopefully there won't be a sandstorm down there today. So race 8, Trickasy, hopefully if there is one, we'll run through the sand. And then race number 10, Zuni is my final. All those are best bets that you can find over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You'll have all of their picks as well as a free racing track today, which I also think if you go to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, Zia Park is the free track of the day. All right, Terry, that wraps up another Monday. Good to have you back after some time off.
Thanks.
Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here?
Well, I'm hoping that this storms that are rushing through doesn't put a lot of people in danger and doesn't get any deaths or anything like that. I hope everybody has a great week. I feel like this is going to be a really good week. I'm going to start preparing for the Breeders' Cup and be safe and win plenty of money.
Yes, indeed. Stuff your pockets full of cash. That's the objective. Yep. Yes, indeed. I hope the River of Rain doesn't go to your neighborhood because the River of Rain has been in my neighborhood for the last 24 hours, and it's just been rain. The poor dog doesn't even want to go outside. She's crying because she's got to go to the bathroom, but we got to run out there. If you like what you see, folks, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, the bell. Thumbs up will be appreciated. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it helps us move up their algorithms. Like us on Twitter. When we go live, you'll be notified because our Sean, Swiss Army Sean, he socializes everything we're about to go live. And then, of course, you can follow us on Twitter to see what's the latest happenings there as well. Terry, as always, it's been my pleasure to spend Monday morning with you.
Mine too.
I look forward to us hitting a hot dog and fly 4 today, folks, as always. Make it a fantastic Monday, and we hope that all of your picks end up in the
winner's circle.
See you in the winner's circle.